admit, I've always had a soft spot for Jeep. After all, I had a CJ, my dad had a CJ, and there is nothing like driving with the top down and the doors off. The problem is they had next to zero utility. Well, all that is changing with the 2020 Jeep Gladiator. That's right, it is all business in the front and a 5-foot party in the back. Now, this isn't the first time that Jeep has produced a truck. They produced pickup trucks pretty much continuously from 1943 till 1992 when the Comanche bit the big one. In fact, this isn't even the first time that we've seen the Gladiator name. Jeep applied it to the J Series from 1963 to about 1987, so there's actually a lot of history here. Now, for those of you who think that this is just a Wrangler with a bed, nope, you are wrong. This has got a brand new frame, and they took the 5-link rear suspension from the Ram 1500 and threw it back here. So that means that this guy can actually tow. So a regular Wrangler 4-door can tow about 3,500 pounds. This one, 7,650 pounds, and I am so excited by that. It's best in class. Payload's also gotten a jump with 1,600 pounds, second only to the new Ford Ranger by just a skosh. Under the hood is a 3.6-liter V6 engine, which is putting out 285 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. Now that is mated to a 6-speed manual transmission, but I've got the optional 8-speed here. Now, unfortunately, we're not getting the 2-liter turbocharged engine with e-torque, but in 2020, we will see a 3-liter diesel, which should be pretty darn cool. So with this power plant, I really like it. There is plenty of get up and go, and there doesn't seem to be too much of an efficiency penalty thanks to a stop-start system. I've been driving the pants off of this guy for the past week, and I'm averaging about 20 miles per gallon. The 8-speed transmission stays out of its own way for the most part. It does its job with no muss and no fuss, and on the whole, this combination is just really, really well sorted. They are really well mated components. Now, as much as I like the Gladiator, I really like the Gladiator, every vehicle has one stupid thing, right? And here on the Gladiator, it's the inside of the hardtop. I can't tell you how many passengers have said, wait, is that styrofoam? No, it's not styrofoam, it's just ugly and Jeep should paint them. There's not a ton of storage up front, but Jeep did do a solid and put a little hidden cubby underneath those rear seats, and the rear seats fold flat so it's easy to load things. Plus, there is an optional Bluetooth speaker back there that's always plugged in and always ready to go. Now, driving a Jeep on the pavement is one thing. If I knew I wasn't going to be doing a lot of off-roading, I'd probably pick this Overland trim. It's really comfortable, but there's no lockers and the tires aren't very aggressive. I like to go to the dirt. So I took a top-of-the-line Rubicon and I went out to find some rocks. But actually, I found a lot of mud because it was raining really hard. I have finally made it out to my happy place, off-road, and it is raining and super muddy. This is amazing. What's great about this is that the Gladiator has the Falcon Wild Peak tires, which are a lot better in the mud than the BFG KO2s that come on the regular Wrangler. So I'm really happy to have this. We have had probably 5 inches of rain, so this mud is really thick, really deep, really clay-like. So while the Gladiator is a lot better at towing and hauling than a regular Jeep Wrangler, what it is missing a little bit is geometry, right? Because I've got a way longer wheelbase. Its wheelbase is about 19 inches longer than a regular Wrangler, and then I've also got all of the overhang in the back. Now, I've still got the great approach angle in the front of about 44 degrees on the Rubicon, but my breakover angle is about 20 degrees. That is definitely not best in class. But even with the bed, I've still got a departure angle of 26, which is best in class. So really, all you're really dealing with is breakover angle. And frankly, a little bit of momentum can cure that. Now, what's really gonna help me out here in the Gladiator and in the rocks is the awesome crawl ratio, right? So I'm in the 8-speed automatic, and that gives me a final crawl ratio of 77:1. Now, if I choose the 6-speed manual, that gives me a crawl ratio of like 84:1. It's bonkers. So what do those numbers mean? Basically, higher the crawl ratio, the easier it is to go up and over obstacles. It means that you're going to have a lot of torque at very, very slow speeds, which is what you want when you're trying to get up and over rocks. So let's see how she do. Oh, look at that mud puddle. So it's amazing the short work that the Gladiator is making of this course. I mean, it is rainy, it is slick, it is muddy, it is rocky, and nothing is touching it. I mean, yeah, I'm sliding around a little bit, but I wouldn't want to take a regular truck up here, and this thing's just like, yeah, I'll take it. You want more? I can give you more. Come on, baby. So after driving this bad boy on the pavement and off-road, would I buy a Jeep Gladiator? The answer is an unequivocal yes. Sure, I lose a little bit of off-road geometry, but the gains I make in utility are totally worth it for me. You just have to decide if it's worth it for you.